One of the earliest written accounts for northwestern Hall County is found in the pages of the Platte Valley Independent on December 11, 1875. The writer tells of a dance at the George Bellamy home, which was located 2 miles south and 2.5 miles west of the town of Cairo, on the north half of Section 34 in South Loup Township. George Bellamy was from Michigan and a veteran of the Civil War, having come to Hall County in 1875.
South Loup Precinct, December 7th, 1875. Editor Independent. It is seldom that the people of this vicinity have a better opportunity for enjoying themselves than that which was offered last Friday evening by Mr. George Bellamy, a new settler living a few miles north of here on the bluffs. To many of us, the idea of a dance on the bluffs was something new. Indeed, when we first traveled that road 2 or 3 years ago on our way to the Loop, we little thought that in the brief period that has since elapsed, we should have the opportunity of mingling with so gay and restive a party in those isolated regions. Never in our recollection did we have a more pleasant time. The excellent music furnished by Mr. Powers and Whitehead, the cheerfulness and geniality of the company, and the genial and entertaining manners of Mr. Bellamy and family caused the hours to glide by until the approach of day suggested to all the loved word, home. Platte Valley Independent.
On November 14, 1947, the Cairo Record carried a story as told by Ray Green, who came to South Loup Township from Michigan in 1874. He settled with his parents in Section 34 of South Loup Township, 2 miles south and 2 miles west of Cairo.
I came here to Hall County with my parents when I was 5 years old. We homesteaded our present home in 1874. George Bellamy homesteaded the place where Jess Ornduff lives now in 1875. Several families had already settled in Cameron Township. George Honnell was an early homesteader where Everett Meath lives now. Alec Johnson homesteaded the place owned for some time by H.S. Balcom. Hiles and Tom Hullum were 2 more early settlers. Leroy Goss homesteaded in Cameron in 1872. Their first home was a dugout. As I recall, there was another early settler that comes to mind, whose name was Mrs. Chivers, who settled in 1873 or 1874. They unfortunately lost a small daughter who was bitten by a rattlesnake. Their farm was the Otto Loon farm now. These early settlers and neighbors were few and far between, but they were true and loyal neighbors and were always willing to help one another, no matter what came. They were plagued with grasshoppers and intense drought. Many hardships of those early days caused some to become discouraged, and those left. But many stayed and carried on. We had a post office at Rundlet where Bud Lowry lives now. Later, the post office was located on the J.T. Mahaffey farm, now owned by Mrs. Cox. Our mail ran from once to twice a week, carried here from Grand Island.
Ah, Nebraska land, sweet Nebraska land, upon thy burning soil I stand, and I look away across the plains, and I wonder why it never rains. We've reached the land of desert sweet, where nothing grows for man to eat, and the wind it blows with feverish heat across those plains so hard to beat. That's Nebraska land, sweet Nebraska land, upon thy burning soil I stand, and I look away across the plains, and I wonder why it never rains. The longest amount of time I have ever been off this section since I first came
has been 5 months, during which time my wife and I and our family journeyed to Oregon by way of a covered wagon. Ray Green.
Sweet Nebraska land, upon thy burning soil I stand, and I look away across the plains, and I wonder why it never rains.